I'm Wendy O'Sullivan, the superintendent for NPS Chesapeake Gateways, and our team is very excited to share the details about this annual technical assistance opportunity. But before we dive in to the details of this year's RFP, I'd like to take a moment to ground us in the statutory authority and purpose of Chesapeake Gateways. As many of you may know, Chesapeake Gateways Network is authorized under the Chesapeake Bay Initiative Act of 1998. This act directs the National Park Service to provide both technical and financial assistance to help identify, conserve, restore, and interpret natural, historical, recreational, and cultural resources of the Chesapeake Bay watershed. It also calls for us to support public education, expand access, create a strong network of gateway sites and water trails that connect people to the bay and to its vast watershed. As you can see, in our enabling legislation, Chesapeake Gateways has unique statutory authorities to partner with a wide range of entities, and today we're focused on our directive to provide technical assistance to the network. So next, let's take a quick look at our vision. We envision a broad network of special places providing public access to recreation, history, and nature, sharing Chesapeake stories, sustaining natural and cultural functions that are benefiting communities and visitors alike, and are helping to empower a stewardship movement. Our mission is in carrying out all of this is to inspire connection. We are seeking to help people discover and experience the Bay's heritage and natural beauty, and to support the conservation and stewardship of places that matter today and for generations to come. And today's focus, we'll be walking through how this RFP supports this vision and mission and our statutory directives, and how our talented team here at NPS and among our key partners can support your work and the areas that contribute to these shared goals together. The Chesapeake Gateways program plays a vital role in preserving and interpreting this extraordinary natural and cultural landscape, and we see through this technical assistance RFP that our goal is to help our partners build capacity, improve visitor experiences, and strengthen public access and education efforts all across the region. So I encourage each of you that are joining us today to really engage in the session, ask questions, share your ideas and your insights, because this really is intended to be technical assistance for our collaborative, for our network of Chesapeake Gateways. So I will pass it here to Eddie to keep going. Thanks all.
Thanks, Wendy. To introduce myself, I'm Eddie Gonzalez. I'm the Director of Partnerships and Grants with the Chesapeake Gateways. You may have heard from me before talking about financial assistance. So this is a different type of support that our office is now institutionalizing. And so that every year you'd be able to expect a formal process of how to access our staff and the expertise that our various partners represent. So to really set the stage, this is a request for technical assistance that we've put out an application for. It is a way for us to continue to work with the kinds of partners that we have been working with, and also an opportunity to bring in new partners that might need this type of assistance. The biggest difference from what we've discussed in the past is that you're requesting expertise. This is not a monetary grant or any sort of financial assistance. It is specifically a request for technical assistance, so support in whatever projects you might need from an expertise point of view. And also just want to set a sense of scale here. These will likely all be virtual consultations. that we'll be putting on. So we don't anticipate any site visits as a part of this, mainly for budgetary reasons, but also just to maximize the amount of support we can bring. We're hoping to be able to select as many projects that don't require on-site presence in order to host as many of these conversations as possible. But the big difference from the past is that we are talking about access to expertise, but it is still meant to be a collaborative conversation where you're bringing an issue to us, and we're seeing between our expertise and those of our partners how we can help you answer some of those questions and get you through those roadblocks that you might be facing. The goals of the program are twofold. One is to allow us to really fulfill the broadness of the Chesapeake Initiative Act. We've started with financial assistance, now moving into technical assistance. But also, just like with the grants, this is really meant to help us gauge what are the needs out there of the watershed. One aspect of those needs are going to get answered through this RFP, but we also want to see what kinds of challenges you're facing to see where else we might be looking at other resources that could play a role in helping you address those issues. So even if we aren't able to get to all of the projects that are submitted through this request, it does help us gauge how to manage and cultivate other resources that we might be able to make available to you. So we're hoping to get a nice diversity of projects through this RFP. Our focus areas are very similar to what you've heard of before. We're still trying to work on the types of projects and the types of impacts and outputs that we're seeking through our financial assistance, but this is more helping you do that through technical assistance. But it's really, projects or efforts that are helping to identify and conserve special places that to be added in the Chesapeake Gateways network. As part of that, it's any sort of projects that are restoring and enhancing public access to these places, or if there's next level of interpretation or programming that needs to be happening at these places, and then how these places all might connect either at the local level or connect to larger initiatives that might be going on at the county or state level, where you represent one aspect of it. And then through all of that, really helping where there is an aggregation of some of these resources, how to help your community really better take advantage of everything available to you. And through all of this work, create a sense of connection. The watershed is broad. It can be divided into any number of ways, from water access to land access to the amazing historical stories, natural stories, cultural and recreational stories. So we want to also be in a position to help you connect to larger efforts that are going on in the watershed. Normally I'd be talking about how much money is being available, how much you can request, what would you be requesting it for. Here, because we're talking expertise, we're really looking at the types of areas that we can get into conversation with. So we've broken up both our office and the kinds of partners that we work with into 6 or 8 different categories here that we'll highlight. And it's not to say that this is the total of what we can help with, but this will hopefully help you see where your needs or your challenges might fit to just help you better communicate those needs to us. But really, whatever you put down on paper and submit, we will take a look at that and see how it best matches up with our skill sets and who would be the best person or partner to respond to your request. But essentially, we're going to be talking about different either projects that are on the planning phase, or if you need assistance in helping to sequence out the implementation phase, or really talking about the kinds of impact and outputs you should be expecting to really get at the deliverables that you hope to see as part of that project. So, just a little bit of detail, for planning, it's anything that's in the ground floor of helping you get a project kickstarted. And this could be working with you directly, working with an executive group or a planning team that you represent, all the way up to potentially helping to facilitate any virtual stakeholder meetings that are part of you getting the type of planning input that you would need to get some of these projects started. That moves into then convening and networking, not just for planning, but if there's conversations that you need assistance to host or to facilitate or to get to some sort of consensus, we will be here to be in that position of helping you navigate that kind of stakeholder engagement. A little bit more sophisticated from that is assistance in helping you formalize your communications, understand who your audiences are and how to best connect with them. You're really looking at all the things that we have to do as an office and decisions we make as an office. We want to be able to share some of that thought process and decision-making process with you, leading not just with communications, but also with branding and marketing. We're doing a lot of work in the rebrand that we've done, the way that our rebrand then extends to our partner networks. So anything in that space that could help prepare you and or put you in a position to better utilize your own messaging is something we want to be able to assist with. And then from there, it's really the technical aspects of programming. There's a lot of research and a lot of science behind how programming is implemented, how it's designed, how is it engineered to create the types of message connections that you want your audiences to have. So there's expertise involved in that we can assist with. And then if you need assistance in helping figure out activation points, places of engagement that will lead you to or lead your audiences to a much more defined interaction or an upgraded interaction with us that might lead to stewardship, might lead to just greater connection to the places that you represent, that's something that we can also assist with. And then overall, a lot of this work really is meant to increase public access. There's a number of different places that we've identified where there's more needs for public access to green spaces, public access to blue spaces. There's particular challenges in communities where development is really filling in for areas that were previously publicly accessible. So how can a community really ensure that there is a net increase of publicly available spaces that your community can access? And then from there, the types of connection that are involved in creating a stewardship connection to these places. How does what you want message get internalized and really absorbed by the visiting audience that then lets them take those messages with them and potentially act on those messages and experiences that they learned? So that's kind of the context of where we wanted to start as far as the breadth of what we are able to make available from our expertise. I did want to take a moment here to take a second to have the various staff members on our team that are on this call to come on camera and off mute and basically just have them introduce themselves to you, talk, give us a few seconds of their sense of their portfolio so that you can understand who you're potentially going to be getting assistance from. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second and just go down my list and have folks introduce themselves as they can. So we'll start with Wendy.
Hi, all. Wendy O'Sullivan again, Superintendent for NPS Chesapeake Gateways. I have a 28-year career in the National Park Service, most of it focused on private-public partnerships, on big corporate cause-related marketing, on spaces that are engaged with communities and centering people in outdoor recreation. So those are some of the spaces that that I bring to the table.
Thank you. Brent?
Hey everyone, Brent Everett. I'm the Director of Communications and Visitor Experience here at NPS Chesapeake Gateways. I'm coming up on 20 years with the service. primarily focused in interpretation, non-personal services, digital experiences, social media communications, public affairs, crisis communications is one of my big areas of expertise. And I lead an incredible team of experts and resources here. And we'll be sharing some of the stories of the work we have been doing informally over the last couple of years on the website that Wendy linked earlier. So we'll have some more examples of the work that we do, but excited for this opportunity to roll out. And thank you, Eddie.
Thanks, Brent. All right, we're going to continue with Brent's team. I got Joel next on my list.
There we go. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joel Kadoff, and I'm the Visual Information Specialist here at NPS Chesapeake Gateways. I, as well, have over 20 years of experience with the National Park Service, primarily in interpretation. However, I joined the Chesapeake Gateways team back in December, and I'm experienced in creating place-based visual media that supports a variety of storytelling needs. And my portfolio includes digital media, socials, wayside exhibits, interpretive media, a whole slew of different resources. So if you need anything, just reach out. Thank you.
Thanks, Joel. Kirsten?
Hi, everyone. I'm Kirsten Klimas. I'm the Public Affairs Specialist working with Joel, Brent, and the rest of our team. I came to the National Park Service over the summer following on a few years of other service within the federal government, communications related. As part of this team, I do a lot of work primarily in the realm of communications, press releases, media releases, that sort of thing.
Great. Brittany?
Hi, everyone. My name is Brittany Hall. I am the training coordinator for National Park Service Chesapeake Gateways. I started with the Park Service about 9 years ago, and my background is, well, academically in history and visual culture. I bring to this team skill set and interpretation and planning, and the sort of frontline interpretation work, public programs, and training and coaching folks to help build the capacity of our various partner organizations.
Great. Britt?
Hi, I'm Britt Slattery. I'm the stewardship coordinator. I have been with National Park Service for about 4 years. I've been working in the field in the Chesapeake region, primarily in environmental education and stewardship and outreach for coming up on about 40 years. So yeah, we're focusing our stewardship efforts through the Chesapeake Bay larger regional partnership, focusing on how we can better align stewardship with supporting some of the larger environmental goals that we're working on, and help to tell the story of all the great work that's happening across the watershed.
Thanks, Britt. So I'll insert myself here so we can then get to the Partnerships and Grants team. Eddie Gonzalez, Director of Partnerships and Grants, and I have about 32 years experience in program development, also working on philanthropy and philanthropically supported projects. So if you need any assistance with project development or really thinking through something that's where you want some sort of impact and you really don't know what it would take to get you there. That's the kind of stuff that I love talking about. And also this is a great window because when we're in the grant cycle, I'm not able to have those kinds of conversations because of the open grant program. So this is really your chance to get some guidance on projects that you might be thinking about and how to sequence them and scale them. Also facilitation, partner development, if you need just any assistance, convening a group of stakeholders, getting them to consensus, that's definitely something that I enjoy doing. So, all right, from me, I'm going to pass it on to my team. Kate?
Hi, everyone. I am Kate Marks Hardy. I am the partnership coordinator here at NPS Chesapeake Gateways. I doing a variety of different roles, primarily partnership roles. And before coming to the National Park Service, I worked for the state. And prior to that, I worked for nonprofits. So in the capacity that I could help with this technical assistance is with planning and convening and networking, just through my various experiences from, it seems like, every aspect that would be part of someone's community. And I should say that I do work with the Gateway Communities initiative here in the office.
Thanks. Aurelia?
Hi everybody, Aurelia Gracia. I am an outdoor recreation planner for Chesapeake Gateways. I think I'm coming up officially on 6 years with the National Park Service. Before I worked at National Parks, and I was heavily involved in partnerships, also community relationships, working on several projects of project management, dealing with historic resources, working with descendant families of historic sites, and then also now exploring compliance, so National Environmental Protection Act, and then Historic Act as well. And then I also continue with, partnerships and project management. So that's kind of my portfolio.
Great. Sam?
Hi, everyone. My name is Samantha Utt. I am our grants project coordinator. My experience, I've only been with the government in this division for about 2 or so years. Previously, though, I have experience working with volunteerism or in other government divisions regionally, working with various parks, managing individuals who are managing other individuals. So most of my experience is going to be helping out with project management and development. So I'm very happy to help out with anything in those aspects.
Thank you. Okay, did I miss anybody on the staff side? All right. Well, so one of the great things about working here is getting to walk into the office every day and having an idea and immediately, like, 5 or 6 people having their own sense of where we could go, what we could do. So it's an amazing dynamic to get to work with this full range of expertise and know that you have to be careful when you come up with ideas because there's so many ways these ideas can go. And it's just fun to spend time with my colleagues figuring out what's in the world of the possible. So we're happy to bring that to you as well. All right, I do have one more person that I'm going to ask to introduce, but I want to go back to the slide for a second because in addition to the staff that you're accessing, some of your requests may end up with some of our partners, and we're still quantifying the different capacities of our partners that we do regular work with and the expertise that they represent. But one partner that I did want to highlight is the Volpe Center that's part of the U.S. Department of Transportation. They've helped us do technical assistance with a number of different parts of the network, really in this space of public access and of coordinating accessibility for these sites, either from a transportation point of view or an on-site design and planning point of view. But we have engaged them to be one of the partners that some of these projects might end up. We are working on getting project descriptions for the work they've done for us in the past up on our website so that you can already start benefiting from some of the work that they've done for us. But we are very happy to have the Volpe Center as one of our partners that are joining us in this effort. And I believe we have Emily Maciek with Volpe on the line. Emily, are you with us?
Yep, I'm here.
Great.
Hi,
Can you just talk a little bit about Volpe? Thanks.
Yep, absolutely. Hi, everyone. I'm Emily Maciek. I am a community planner with the Volpe Transportation Center's Transportation Planning Division. So we mostly do a lot of work with public lands. I manage the portfolio for the National Park Chesapeake Bay Gateways office. What is the Volpe Center? We are a federal resource within the Department of Transportation. So we do multimodal, multidisciplinary technical assistance to a variety of partners, federal, state, local agencies, international organizations, nonprofit organizations, academia, and private sector entities. So we have an agreement with NPS, where we provide technical consultation to their partners, which is what Eddie was just speaking about. And so from our end, technical consultation means a rapid assessment of transportation challenges, issues, and opportunities based on existing data and studies and other partner discussions. So we can help out with a slew of things, from stakeholder engagement to virtual partner meetings, reviewing previous studies, helping identify issues and opportunities for access, different kinds of public transit near you, gap analysis, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're here and we love supporting the National Park Service and you all. So thank you for letting us be a part of this.
Thanks, Emily. Yeah, and I will say they're extremely sophisticated shop with a lot. They represent a wide menu of staff at their level that could be brought in. So we're not just getting Emily and assistance in the coordination, but Emily really represents, dozens of other Volpe teammates that have different skill sets that would come into play depending on your project. So be thinking about multimodal access, be thinking about just public access challenges. They're also really good about stakeholder engagement, and then also connecting to research, either on funding or technical resources that might be available. So a lot of really great tools that are going to be at your disposal. So that's kind of what we're looking for as far as the mechanics of the application, something to highlight because we're bound by the Watershed Initiative Act. All the projects that get selected need to be in the watershed for us to be able to get involved. And we're also using this as an opportunity to work with our gateway places that have already started coming in through that process, and you'll hear more about that further down the presentation. But this is an effort to help bring assistance to those gateway places, but also help encourage more entities in the watershed to formally join the network and become one of our Chesapeake Gateway places. Because this is not financial assistance, I can say it is not as challenging of an application process as navigating grants.gov or having to submit a financial assistance application. But there is a formal application process that you'll need to link through and submit through the web page. There is a PDF that you're able to download so you can help prepare your responses. And then go to the web page that will be linked in the slides. And actually, I will see if we can get the link in the chat so you can start playing around with that already. But yeah, the web page will have all the instructions that I'm talking about today, the links to the application form, and just reiterate some of the areas that we're looking to support in case you have questions. We will be hosting 2 office hours the week before the deadline, and this will be a chance for you to bring ideas to the table. We can help give you a sense of scale and framing, so that when you submit, it's clear what you need assistance with, so we can better gauge priorities and how it matches up with the expertise we've identified. The proposals are due May 1st. We do expect to have a decent amount of submissions, so we likely won't be extending that, just so that we can jump right into the review process. But we do hope that this represents enough need that this will be an annual opportunity that you can count on the office providing. So if you don't get to the point where you really have something quantifiable that you can express in the application, not to worry. We are always still available to help you bring some definition to those projects. And we're also not the only technical assistance resource available in the watershed. So there are other places that we can help organize you to apply. Once we get all the submissions, we'll go through a review and prioritization process to identify how many projects we can realistically take on between us and our partners, and then communicate those selections starting around the end of June, with projects beginning sometime after that. This is the first year we're doing this, so I don't have a lot of projects to compare us to. The projects that Volpe did in the past for us were kind of the next level up in project size. So we're really looking to see how these projects can turn into something that can be done through virtual consultation that can be accomplished within a couple of months versus, a couple of years, which is more the focus of the grants. But they're also meant to be places where we can contribute some sort of assistance to get you to the next level of your planning or implementation. But based on the projects that are selected, we expect the project timeframes to be sometime between summer, fall, and through spring of 2026. Some of it will also depend on the timelines that you have for your projects. We know there's some projects that are date specific, so we may push those to further into the program year and tackle those that have either summer programming dates or into the fall. But all of that will be identified and defined once projects are selected. All right, I mentioned that we're really using this as a way to encourage more formal connections to the network. So requesting assistance is one part of it, but also getting you in the queue if you aren't already, to make sure that your community assets are being formally recognized as a Chesapeake Gateway place. So I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Brent, who's just going to walk through a little bit of the process that is the preparatory process before you submit a RFP or a proposal for technical assistance.
All right, thanks, Eddie. So as we mentioned at the beginning, based on our statutory authority as Chesapeake Gateways, we're really powered by partner places. The foundation of who we are and what we do is to convene and bring together, identify and support and promote the different types of partner places that we have throughout the watershed. We're grounded in our sites, our water trails, our byways, our heritage areas, and even to a lesser extent, our public water access sites. And at the top of that is our communities that we're really getting deeper into in the coming months, and we'll have another update about our communities designation this summer, which we're really excited about. We've made some really great progress over the last couple of weeks getting to that. But right now, if you represent or know of a site, a water trail, a land-based trail, a byway, or a heritage area, you can self-nominate or have that organization that manages that place self-nominate to join Chesapeake Gateways. And if you go to the next slide, Eddie, the self-nomination process is relatively simple. There's an online Microsoft form that the managing organization or owner will fill out for each of the places that they're nominating. We do a quick NPS review that is managed by Kirsten and Joel. And that's just to make sure that you've fully answered all the questions. We fully understand what the place is and what it is all about, what its mission is. And then there's a signed general agreement that ensures that we're able to give you the full resources and benefit of joining the network. And then we start to roll those benefits out through an orientation. Joel and his team work on a web listing, getting that up so you're on the website and the mobile app. We then provide you with the branding materials so that you can brand your Chesapeake Gateways place. And then Kirsten and the rest of the team will work with you on promotional opportunities to hopefully start getting, well-informed, high-quality visitors out to your places. So we go to the next slide. So the ideal candidates are physical locations that are open to the public and have a primary focus on recreation, conservation, education, or interpretation. So this can be anything like historic sites, it can be trails, obviously heritage areas at the state level or higher, museums, parks, refuges, interpretive centers, visitor centers, outdoor or heritage guide services. These are all sorts of things that can be included. They don't have to be nonprofits. We do have for-profit entities that are also part of the network, but they do need to have a primary focus on recreation, conservation, education, or interpretation of one of the resources. I will say while we're on this slide that federal lands and federal designations are automatically included. So things like your national parks within the watershed, wildlife refuges, other public lands like national forests that are open to the public, national trails like the Captain John Smith Chesapeake Trail, the Star Spangled Banner National Historic Trail, and national heritage areas like the Susquehanna National Heritage Area, Southern Maryland, Northern Neck. Those are all automatically included in the network, and we handle those connections in a different way. But if you're anything other than those federally recognized entities, this is the process to come into the network. Now, some community assets and amenities may or may not qualify for Chesapeake Gateways Places based on the framework that we work off of. These include hotels, retail locations, and restaurants. They're not excluded per se. They're not explicitly excluded, I should say, but they do require a little additional review, right? Because their primary purpose is either lodging or selling goods or providing food service. So we really want to see how does that connect with the Chesapeake-ness of the network. So what is their connection to the recreation, conservation, education, or interpretation of the Chesapeake Bay watershed? Next slide, Ed. All right, and so this is directly how you get into the network. There's a link there, and when we share this slide, you'll be able to see that. It is within our website, nps.gov/Chesapeake. If you're there and then you navigate to who we are and work with us, you'll find it under the partners section of our website. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to myself or Kirsten on the next slide. You see our email addresses there. We can hit us up in the chat and we can email you and let you know any questions you might have. We can answer those for you. All right. Thanks, Eddie. That's everything on Chesapeake Gateways Places.
Thanks, Brent. Yeah, so, in what the process that Brent mentioned, because it talks about recognizing what currently exists, there's also an element there where if you're not ready or you want your sites to be part of this network, but there's some, it's not open to the public yet, or you're really not clear on the programmatic role that it would have, those would be the kinds of things that you could then submit for technical assistance. How can you get some of these places to reflect the Chesapeake-ness that you're thinking that it should be, so that it could be eligible and become part of that network. So great resource that already exists for you. It's a process that you can already apply for and get some assistance just in getting those designations for your places. But if you have specific challenges, that's where you might then turn to the technical assistance RFP to get help there. So that kind of is the formal walkthrough of what we are offering. You saw the link to the website that has all these details. I also have a link here that for anybody that found out about today's webinar but didn't get a message from us directly, we do have a link that I'll see if we can get it posted in the chat to get you onto our contact list so that you can get our ongoing updates for other resources that come out of the office. And from here, I want to go ahead and open the floor to questions. We did have one in the chat about our federal network partners eligible to apply. The answer is yes. And then I saw Christina had put a comment on there. So Christina, I was hoping you could get us started here and come online and just explain what you were looking for comment on.
Ed, you want to go ahead and take down the slides and we'll just open it up for any questions. You can use the raise hand button at the top.
Our board has questions about the agreement. Who should we contact for this discussion? Do you mean the use agreement with the Chesapeake Gateway Place? Midge?
If that's the case, yeah, so reach out to Kirsten. She's managing things right now. So if you have any questions about the agreement or any issues there, feel free to reach out to her and she can provide any clarification. Kirsten Klimas.
She'll
Yeah,
put
so-
her email in the chat. Go ahead, Brianna.
Hi guys, Brianna Dix with Worcester County Tourism. Nice to see some familiar people on this call, and thank you for all this information. It's been very interesting just to kind of put the pieces together and learn more about it. Do you recommend, since we're a county destination with tourism and economic development, that we look into this, or is it best to maybe look into maybe partnerships with our towns specifically and then them go for it themselves?
Yeah, in this context, you know, from a county level, to be able to, you know, really match up with Chesapeake Gateways, it would be identifying what are the places that are part of the Gateways network within your county, and or is there a community within your county that has either gone through one of our workshops. But yes, we definitely are already working at county levels with tourism and economic development elsewhere in the watershed. And it sort of tethers down to the place-based members of the Gateways network. So if you don't have any that are currently either in the network or have done the self-nomination, that would be a really great first step, is engaging your sort of iconic places that you're already promoting to join the Gateways network.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we're a work in progress down here, but I appreciate it. We're looking forward to continuing the process.
Great.
And we did just get an offer from Virginia Tourism Corporation that any projects that might need additional assistance on the tourism side, they'd be willing to also hear about those projects and provide direct support. We also have similar relationship with Maryland Office of Tourism. So, you know, definitely if there's anything in the tourism space, we're a resource, but we can also try to get it to, you know, a bigger resource available to us.
And Brent, I'd ask that if you could put in the chat the landing page to self-nominate to join the network, just so everyone on this call has that handy. Great. Any other questions? Or ideas that people have out there that could use a little people power expertise to help?
Yeah, we really want you to be thinking about challenges you're having, either with navigating local dynamics or getting stakeholder engagement, or really putting parameters to something you'd like to see, some impact, some outcome that you'd want to have for your community around certain programs, but just need some assistance in road mapping how to get from where you are now to where you want to be. So certainly, you know, be thinking of questions like that you've had. Aurelia?
Yeah, Eddie and Wendy, I had a question. So if I was an applicant, and let's say I had like just a general idea of I want to explore something with public access, I have some dollars available, but I didn't have the project fully baked. Is there anything that our office is offering? Would it be office hours or just meet with you, Eddie, and Wendy to like try to fully develop the project plan? I'm trying to help people who may not know where to get started.
Yeah, I would think that's a good example of a type of project development assistance we can provide, where you're really wanting some sort of outcome to occur or some benefit to the community. But you know, and you may have a sense of resources that you may have available to you, but just need what is step 1, what is step 10, what is step 30 look like in getting to those outcomes. I think between myself, between the anybody on our team that has worked on project development, we could help shape that. If some of this really just needs a quick check-in call first, just to get you pointed in the right direction, we can certainly do that as well. Where it's just, hey, I just need 15 minutes to have a quick chat. I think that kind of stuff, you're welcome to go ahead and just email us and see if we've got a moment to assist. But this is if you have something specific that you're looking for guidance on, I would go the proposal route.
I mean, really, the office hours are meant for exactly this scenario that you brought up, Aurelia. So we would encourage people to utilize that time that we have. And as Eddie said, if you need more, a little bit more time, reach out, and it might be that what you're seeking support for is the thought leadership to help move a project forward. So when we talk about technical assistance, we don't necessarily mean this big, huge project that you're looking for, our office to, be the project manager for. That is not the offering that's here. It really is about the expertise that we have in our office or with our partners that can be sort of a shot of expertise and a shot of momentum to help projects move forward. It might be that maybe Brent, if give an example of where we provided consultation and review and support for a major redo of a visitor center, where we weren't the ones running that project, but the NPS has so much experience. Brent, I'll just ask you to give that as an example.
Yeah, so really what it was is just being at the table and a lot of it was reinforcing that the partner was on the right process, right? And helping them understand that, yes, you're going to go from step A to B to C, and some of them were forward looking, like, shouldn't we be seeing this? And it was helping them understand, no, you're not going to see that until this step of the process. And that's normal. That's how this process works and is developed. So it's a lot of that one was a lot of just sort of reassurance that they're going about the project the right way and that they're doing it efficiently and effectively, at least based on the way the National Park Service does it, which I found to be pretty effective and logical in the way that it works. So, but also while we're there, right, we have that opportunity to say, hey, in our experience, we would not put this type of exhibit here. We would think about looking at something in a different way. So it's another set of eyes that comes to you, like Joel was saying, or Brittany was saying, with years, decades of experience doing this type of work. You might have a lot of NPSers only get an opportunity to do this once or twice in a career, whereas Joel and I, and because we've bounced around a little bit, we've had a lot of opportunities to do a lot of different projects, and we bring that to the table while also helping with just sort of that reassurance that you've built the project correctly. I think that you can also, and to Aurelia's point, it can really come in at any point in that process, right? Or if you're developing a scope of work to try to put out for bids for an exhibit project or a wayside project or something like that. Well, I've written hundreds of those, right? So that's something we can come in and help out with. And that's a distinct sort of small project that we can just sort of help you get on the right path and get in the right movement. Are we going to be your project manager for that when it's awarded and lead the process? No, that's not really what we have the capacity to do, but we have the capacity to get you on the right path and help you stay on that right path as you move forward through your project, and then inject whatever expertise or knowledge that we may have. And then beyond that, right, you may say, well, we need content support with one of these stories or one of these things. And that's an area where Brittany can not only use Brittany's expertise as an individual, but she can also reach back into the 20,000 person NPS environment and we can bring those expertise and resources from the larger NPS community into it. So in addition to the project that Wendy was alluding to, we're working right now with the National Capital Region's Museum Services Division to come out and help a local partner here in Annapolis with getting some recommendations and ideas, and really, again, reinforcing that they're in the right path in managing their museum collection now, as well as a move that they're planning in the future, and making sure that they do that in the right way and in the best way possible. So just a couple of examples of where we can just sort of inject, and again, get you on the right path, help you stay on that right path, and make sure that you're being successful. And then at the end, right, that's something we want to celebrate and promote. So whatever we can do, myself, Kirsten, and the rest of the team, to help you promote this awesome project and opportunity, that's again something that we're going to step in and be there to help you do as well. So it gives you these opportunities all down the project timeline where we can help and be a part of your team.
Yeah, I did want to just take this opportunity to reemphasize, though, that this is for technical assistance. So this is for support. It doesn't mean that then we have the money to follow up and provide you financial assistance. I think we want your project to be supported in whatever way our technical assistance can then prep you to be able to go after some project dollars to support what you're trying to do. But this is for a very distinct set of assistance to help you formulate a project or put some parameters around the project, but it isn't necessarily a commitment to then fund the project. So I did want to just emphasize that. But outside of that, as Brett mentioned, we're looking to have you come to us with questions, and then we'll see, we're here to see how well we can answer those questions to allow you to keep those projects moving forward in whatever sequence you need.
It's sort of like phone a friend. And because we have hundreds of members of the network, we wanted to make sure we did it in a way where the partners can submit their need to phone a friend so that we can really be effective at supporting the network. If we did it in a way that was just sort of open-ended, then it'd be harder for us to really efficiently and effectively both schedule and manage our own team's time, as well as partners that are wanting the support. So it's about people power, and it is okay to just send in the fill out the form as best you can with the ideas and needs that you have. So we welcome more and would really welcome all sorts of ideas and needs, because part of this is to get a better sense of what the needs are across the Gateways network, so that we're both building the right support, the right expertise, and also identifying existing and new partners that could help us meet those needs.
Yeah, so please bookmark the 2 office hours. It's going to be the same Teams link. They'll be from 3 to 4 p.m. on the 22nd and the 24th. So you can come with your questions, let us know what you're thinking about. We can help you add a little bit more framing for your application, but that's your next best opportunity to talk about what you might be thinking.
All right. So we've got about 5 more minutes. If there's other questions, we're happy to stay on. The main website, that nps.gov/Chesapeake, right off of there, you'll see the section for grants and assistance, and then you can drill down to technical assistance. And then the other links that were shared are ways to get your really remarkable places that are within your communities to consider self-nominating to join Chesapeake Gateways. And as Brent shared, the other piece, just while we have folks on this call, that's coming this summer, is a self-nomination process to join the network as a Chesapeake Gateway community. So that's the other big piece that's coming later this summer. All right, I don't see any hands up. Well, spread the word, you know, help us get the word out that this is an open RFP. We really are looking for, you know, really lots of neat, exciting requests for technical assistance. You saw the big range of categories, and thanks for all the help that you can do to get the word out. And also thank you for all the remarkable work you're doing in your communities and at your places, connecting people to what's so special about the Chesapeake region.
All right, well, we will see you all at office hours if you have any questions. Otherwise, we're looking forward to seeing a proposal from everyone.